The Falcons defense did not play well last year. With a new head coach in Raheem Morris, a defensive coordinator in Jimmy Lake, who was a first-year defensive coordinator, the Atlanta Falcons defense, especially in the sacks and pressure department, 31st in the league, one of the absolute worst in the last 15 years or so, just getting sacks. And you look at this, the Atlanta Falcons have to improve, right? So here are three players to focus on for me this year to focus on. I want to know what you guys, who are your three players to focus on defensively. So we're going to get straight to it. All right, these are three players for me this season for the Atlanta Falcons to focus on. The first one, it's Leonard Floyd. We brought him in via not only he played for the Rams, he played for the 49ers and the Chicago Bears. All right, so this guy has been a standard of sacks. Now, whether it's a high number of sacks, 5 to 10, 8, like this guy's been there. He's been a model of consistency for the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Falcons brought him in as a 49er, but he does have the awareness, all right, that you want in an edge guy. He does have the experience that you want in an edge guy. He has the athleticism you want in an edge guy. And with a guy like Raheem Morris, that's familiar. He knows exactly what Raheem Morris wants, and Raheem Morris knows how to use him. And I think if you look at with Leonard Floyd, all right, he is a standard of consistency when you talk about sacks. So if Raheem Morris wants to sort of resurrect this Atlanta Falcons defense, I believe Leonard Floyd has to be that model of consistency on that defensive edge so he doesn't get fired. Because if the Atlanta Falcons don't improve this defense and they don't improve these sack numbers, it's not going to be good for a guy like Raheem Morris. Second, when you look at Rook Oroboro, all right, I think Rook is one of those guys that you have to get some production from. You have to get numbers. Why? It's because you allow a Grady Jarrett to move on. Now, granted that Grady Jarrett, the high price tag, you look at him, what he's done for the Atlanta Falcons for the most part. He's been a model of consistency himself. No, the Atlanta Falcons defensive tackle hasn't had a lot of sack numbers. He hasn't had big time sack numbers that you will hope a guy with his skill set, the ability to penetrate and get instant pressure. Grady Jarrett has just been a model of consistency as far as that's concerned. Tackles for losses, he's definitely ranked as one of the top defensive tackles and defensive linemen in Atlanta Falcons history, and a guy it's going to be hard pressed to kind of replace him. So hopefully a guy like Rook Oroboro is going to be able to put in that work. Again, sacks. You got guys like, you brought in a Morgan Fox, another one of those guys, put up some decent numbers. A guy that can penetrate, get in the backfield. He's a solid defensive tackle. You can move around to the a lot of 3-4 tech spot situations for the Atlanta Falcons. And I know the Atlanta Falcons are going to be using a lot of 3-4 and a lot of 4-3, so you're going to be able to move Morgan Foxes around. Rook is another one of those guys you're going to be able to do. But I think when you look at the Atlanta Falcons and Rook and how he's going to be that guy, and hopefully that guy to replace Grady Jarrett, he's going to be essential to this Atlanta Falcons defense. So the second one and the last one, Troy Anderson, man, his health. All right, you got no Nate Landman. The Atlanta Falcons are looking for Troy Anderson to be that guy. I know you got a guy like JD Bertrand, another one of those guys in the middle of the field that the Atlanta Falcons are hoping that's going to be able to continue to develop, and hopefully Jeff Ulbrich is going to be able to get the best out of him. But I think if this Atlanta Falcons defense is going to go to that next level and be consistent, I think a guy like Troy Anderson is going to be able to, he needs to be able to, one, stay healthy, but showcase his skills and showcase his abilities as a linebacker, in particular, in this particular instance. Sack numbers, athleticism on the edge. You can use him in the middle of the field. Troy Anderson, again, a big body, goes about 6'3", 240, 250 pounds. And this dude runs about a 4.4, so this dude can definitely move. So if the Atlanta Falcons with Jeff Ulbrich, and I think Jeff Ulbrich has had a pretty good track record of developing linebackers, and if he can stay healthy, I think Troy Anderson is going to be a vital part of this Atlanta Falcons defense. But let me know what you guys think about it, man. Again, Leonard Floyd, if he can get those sack numbers for the Atlanta Falcons, I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to be, much better with a young Braylon Trice coming back, and hopefully they get an edge in this draft. Maybe day one, Ruka Rororo, you get him and help him try to replace Grady Jarrett, and we lost in Grady Jarrett, and then you got Troy Anderson. All right, I think if you can keep him healthy, if he can stay healthy, that's the big key. If he can stay healthy, this Atlanta Falcons linebacker core would be so much better. And I think that was one of the aspects of the Falcons defense last year that they missed, and that was the athleticism and abilities of Troy Anderson. So with that being said, this has been your boy Man Mike with another Atlanta Falcons news update video. All right, show me 3 players that you are focused on in this Atlanta Falcons defense. With that being said, hit that subscribe button. Your boy Man Mike is out of, man. Peace. Check out the video on the screen right now. The Atlanta Falcons and their sack numbers have been absolutely pathetic. Check out my video, my rant on this particular subject.